Good morning, Lisa Johnson here with day 2 of your challenge. But first I want to know how you got on yesterday with yesterday's challenge. So let me know, and if you are on, let me know that you are on and that you can see this. And then I will know that it's working, because it's always a little bit dodgy on Facebook. You never know whether you're actually live or not. I can see that 6 people are watching, so hopefully I will be able to get comments. Let's have a look. If you are on, just say hello. Just say hello. Then I will know. There we go. Claire is here, which means it's working. Brilliant. Morning, Zoe. So, I would love you to do me a favour. As usual, I always ask for this. If you can give me a heart or thumbs up, just so that more people get to see this, I would be really, really grateful. Nice to see you guys. So, come on, tell me about yesterday. How did you find it? Did you find it more difficult than you thought? I read lots of the comments yesterday, and one of the things that I saw happening quite a lot was people going down the rabbit hole of comparing themselves and then getting frustrated. Like, I can't do this, too hard. And that's because instead of having the CEO mind on, they've got the comparisonitis mind on, and we really don't want that. So when you are looking at your competition, you're doing SWOT analysis, you've got to kind of see yourself as the CEO, and over here you've got to see the business. And it really helps. It helps with everything to do that, actually, because then you don't take anything personally, because if somebody's upset with the business, they're not upset with you, they're upset with the business. So it's always about having your CEO head on when you're doing these things, because I get that it can be hard not to compare yourself with other people. Like, you're looking at all their strengths, and so of course you're going to be going, oh my God, they're really good at this and I'm not so good at this. But let me tell you something about comparing yourself to others. You are never comparing apples to apples. Generally, you will be comparing the start of your journey or the middle of your journey with the middle to end of somebody else's. It's not showing me your comments. It showed me 2 and then it disappeared. I can see like people watching. Oh, I can now. Or what you're generally comparing, and remember this, you are often comparing the worst parts of you, or the worst parts that you think there are of you and your business, to the best parts that you think there are, a highlight reel of somebody else's. So when you're doing this work, I really want you to keep your CEO head on, because as soon as you get into comparisonitis, you've lost the game, because then you're not thinking about your own business anymore. You can definitely do like SWOT analysis and look at competitors, even if they're friends with you. Like, my competitors are all my mates. So I have to look at it from a CEO mindset, which is different. A really insightful exercise. I will transfer the learnings to the group today. Yeah. Scary, but ended up positive. Having the CEO head on really helped. You've got to kind of keep it that way through everything that we're going to be doing, because, you know, people have generally not taught people online to do this work. We want things to be as easy as possible online. And so what we do is we do the fun stuff, you know, we do the vision boards. Let's do a vision board. Because it's fun. We do all that kind of stuff, but we're not doing the real work, the work that businesses that last do. So that's why I wanted to get you into this. And I know it's not going to be as easy as some of the other things that you've done in business before, but things that are worth it aren't always the easiest things to do. So it will still be worth doing. So just a reminder of why you're doing this. So what we're going to be doing is, over the next 4 days, looking at real business strategy rather than marketing strategy. There is a bit of marketing strategy in there on day 3, but it's part of the overall business strategy, so that you can have a business that lasts for years, not just a flash in the pan, it's working for now. So you can be really mindful about where you want to go over the next 3 to 5 years, rather than just this year. And remember that every single person that does all 4 parts of the challenge, and yes, somebody put, I know these are going to get harder throughout the 4 days. They do a little bit. That's the purpose. It's to get you really thinking about things. So they might get a little bit harder. But if you do all 4, you will get entered into a draw to win some prizes. I talked about the prizes yesterday. Things like a Mulberry wallet or purse, vouchers, Fortnum & Mason hamper, things like that. And we also have a prize for and I'm already seeing those of you that are really helping other people when they find it hard, because not everyone finds this stuff easy. Some people really do, but not everybody does. So yesterday we talked about viability, making sure that actually the thing that you have is viable. And I can tell that you've totally embraced it. And I can see that how that's going to work for your businesses now, because you can see that you can't just do ideal client. There has to be some market research there, and that starts with looking at our competitors. Today, I want to introduce you to a couple of different concepts. You will have heard of these before, but you may not be thinking about them in the way you should be thinking about them. So, who has heard of mission, vision, and values? Really important concepts that usually we hear more in the kind of corporate world, but it's really important that we look at them as well. So when we're looking at your mission, your vision, and your values, the big thing to think about here, there's two mistakes that people generally make when they're writing their mission, vision, and values. It's only showing me like who is on. It's not showing me comments. So if you are writing comments, I'm sorry I can't see all of them. But carry on anyway, because I will go back and answer questions or watch anything after. So, oh, cool. So I can see that some people haven't heard of them. Right, so in any business that is offline, including corporate businesses, you work out your mission, your vision, and your values. And the reason that you do this is so that you're all on the same page. So if it's just you know the direction you're going in. If you ever use a freelance person or have employees, it becomes even more important. Now, most people leave this way too late. They leave it until they've got a team of people. And then it's like, too late, because you've already made decisions based on the wrong things in your business. So we want to get these started right from the outset so that you know where you're going. The two biggest mistakes people make. One, they think it's only for corporate businesses. I don't need to think about my vision and mission. It's just me, playing with this business. Not if you want to stay in business for a long period of time. It's really important that you know the direction you're going. Otherwise, how are you going to make the right decisions to get there? We all need to make decisions in business. If we don't know where we're going with it, we might be making the wrong decisions. And it might be why some of those businesses you saw a couple of years ago are no longer in business, because they didn't have forward thinking. They didn't know where they wanted to get to. So that's the first thing. Now, the bigger thing that people do, people that understand and generally have mission and a vision and values, they make this big mistake, and I made it too when I first started. They think of their values as their values, personal values. So, for instance, if I really care about fun, I really want to have fun every day, then I might make fun a value in my business. That might not be appropriate for the business. So we have to separate out business values from our own personal values. Now, as the CEO, of course, those values are going to be influenced a bit by you and your values. For instance, if you really care about sustainability, you're probably not going to have a business that is private jets. It's going to be a value that goes on to the business, but it's not necessarily the business's values. It's your values. So we have to be careful on this, because if you ever want to have a massive team, which you might, things grow more quickly than you think. Sometimes you might have a huge team. Or if you ever want to exit your business or sell your business, and you might not think you want to do now, but you never know what's going to happen in the future. If all of your business's values are based on you and your values, then the second you leave, it loses its identity and becomes far less valuable because it was reliant on your values. So let's separate them off and have business values. So when we're thinking about this today, with that CEO head on again, you're thinking of yourself as a CEO of your business. Even if it's a solo business with just you in it, won't always be. So I want you to think of it as you as the CEO rather than you as the business. We can be a personal brand and not be the business ourselves. We can head up the business. So let's talk about mission, vision, and values. So mission is what you do for your clients and why. So what you're doing right now for your clients and why you do it. The vision is more future-based. It's bigger than you, usually. It's bigger than what you're doing right now. It's what will happen and what you would aspire to happen in the world. What's the big change if you were to continue doing the job that you are doing, if your business continues to do the job that it does. And then values are harder to explain, but they're basically things that your business believes in that is going to help you make decisions in the future based on those values. I'm going to read mine to make this easier. So I've written down my mission, vision and values. So my mission of Lisa Johnson Strategy, and everyone in my team knows this mission. Our mission, and I say our for a reason now, but it would have been mine, would have been the company's when I just started, would be to teach business strategy simply. It's as simple as that. That is what we do. Teach business strategy simply. This mission is generally what people will say about your business when you're not in the room. So it's like, what does she actually do? Oh, she kind of teaches business strategy in a really simple way. So that is the mission. The vision is bigger. So it's bigger than me. It's bigger than the company. To create a world where every person is supported to shape their own version of success. Now, the reason we have that as a vision, because if we get lots of people via strategy and have that ripple effect that I was talking about yesterday to start up businesses and to have brilliant businesses that thrive over a long period of time rather than quickly burning out, then what happens is not only do those businesses have their version of success, but also the employees they're able to have their version of success as well. So it creates a world where each person is supported either by a business, by their employer, or by their clients to shape their own version of success. So it's bigger. You can see how it's bigger than just me. Values. We have three main values. We are risk-taking pioneers. We work with passion and excellence, and we believe in fun and freedom. So if you see the decisions that I make in the business, those values will be reflected in it. Are they my personal values? No, they're the business's values. My personal values are integrity, transparency, and that kind of goes without saying because I'm leading a company. So that's just going to be part of it because I'm leading the company, and so of course that company is going to have integrity, transparency and honesty. But if I was not leading this company and I disappeared, what are the values of this company going to be? They're still going to be risk-taking pioneers. We take risks all the time. So when a decision comes in, when, opportunities will present themselves, there's lots of ways to make, I said yesterday, 1 million ways to make £1 million. If that's true, then how do you know the decisions that you need to make as you're running this business? Well, you go back to your values. So something comes in and an employee says to me, this would be really good to do, but it's really risky. No one's done it before. No one's done a massive affiliate launch in the UK before. We'll do it. We're the risk takers. We're the pioneers. We like to do things first. We will do a massive affiliate launch, and if it doesn't work, we will be able to teach all of our clients from it. It did work. We made £1 million in the first hour because that's what happens, I believe, with this value of being a risk taker. We work with passion and excellence. I only want people in my company that are passionate. I only want to do projects. Projects have come to me that I've said, maybe we should do this. It will make us an extra 2 million next year. And then my employees have said, what about our value of passion and excellence? Are we passionate enough about doing this thing to bother doing it? No, we're not really passionate about it. We just know it will make us money. That's not what we do. We do things excellently because we're passionate about it, so we turned it down. So decisions become easier to make once you have the values. Taking my team to Tenerife to start off, we believe in fun and freedom. I don't want to do it in a stuffy office. So it means that everything from inside your business and how it works and the operations to everything that people see outside your business are based on this mission, vision and values. And it massively helps because as your business grows, this is where you're going to be able to always come back to. It really helps inside the business as well. Let's say that one of your values was honesty. always telling it like it is and not hiding from the truth. If that's one of your values and one of your employees does something wrong, they are much more likely to own up to it. You are much more likely to say, I'm unhappy with what's going on here because of that value. It creates a culture in your business. Now, you might be thinking, there's only one of me. None of this needs to matter because it's just me. But even if it's just you, you need to know where you're going so that when other people come on or you hire a tech VA for 5 hours a month, they need to know this vision, this mission, these values, so that they know what you're working towards, because you will get there quicker. It isn't a coincidence that we made all this money in 5 years. We knew where we were going. We knew what the values were. We knew what our mission was, and we knew who we wanted to help. We knew what we wanted to do. All of that's really important. So it was just me 5 years ago. It was just me 3 years ago, to be fair. And it might be just you for a while, or you might have a small team. You get this bit done, everything becomes easier. It will change your business. So I'm going to read you IKEA's, just to give you another example. So IKEA's mission, and sorry if you're writing things, it's not showing me anything. IKEA's mission is to offer a wide range of well-designed and functional home furnishing products so low that as many people as possible can afford them. And you can see that, right? That's what you do. That's what IKEA do now. Like, it is their mission to offer well-designed furniture that's cheap. Vision is to create a better life for the everyday person. See how it's bigger? Their little bit is creating a better life for the everyday person. And their values: lead by example, togetherness, caring for people and planet. Can you imagine somewhere as big as IKEA now making decisions? That caring for people and planet is going to be massive in their decision making, whether that's how they treat employees to what kind of materials they use. It's huge. And it will really help them and help us understand their business, and that's why it's grown so well. It's showing me a couple of things. Never considered separating business values and personal values. As a sole trader, I can see how helpful this would be. Neither had I in that first couple of years, and actually it's changed things for me, because what we do, the problem with what we do is if we put our values on our business, that ends up being our marketing strategy. So integrity and honesty was really big to me. And so it became the business's values. When actually, it's intrinsic in everything. I didn't need to make it the business values. It was my personal values. Once I could get rid of that and start looking at the other things the business needed values in, it really changed things. Can I be in your team? Was feeling daunted when you started this session, but your examples are really helping. Passion is definitely one of my values. Careful. Is it one of your values, or should it be the business value? Careful that we stop putting I into things, because if we lead with that ego and we lead with our things, then the business is going to always be small enough to just be us. We want to make it bigger than us. Not sure where my request went, had to refresh. Yeah, we can put the values, mission and vision in to have as inspiration. I'll put IKEA's in there as well. Company culture is absolutely a strategy. It's huge. And people should be doing that way before they have people in their company, because otherwise they're going to hire the wrong people because they don't know what the values are of the company to know who to hire. I hire fun people because it's part of the business strategy for fun and freedom. It's important for that company culture. So today's task is going to be to come up with 3 values. But as you're doing it, I want you to remember that you're thinking of 3 values for the business, not for you. They can be different to your values. What are 3 business values? Now, if we were doing this all together and we were doing a whole, in my course that I'm bringing out, in my accreditation course about strategy, if we were doing the whole thing, our values would go back to looking at who that ideal client was and our market research. The business values would be intrinsically linked to those. But for now, I want you to just think about the business values. Just give me 3 business values that you think your business should have that aren't your business values necessarily. They might be a nod to some of yours, like I like fun. There's a nod there to my personality to go in there. But it isn't my values. My values, if I were to tell you them, are very different to the business values. And actually, it can go a step further, but we're not going to do it in this task. But if we were doing this properly, and let's say you were looking at somebody else's strategy. So one of the reasons I'm doing this is so that you guys can help your clients with strategy, no matter what it is you do, because strategy covers everything. So if you're a copywriter or somebody that works with VAs or anything really, a dating coach, whatever you are, if you're looking at clients' businesses in any way, you should be able to see the gaps in their strategy. This will be a big one that you will be able to see the gaps in their strategy with, because most of the time what they'll do is they'll say, well, I believe this, this and this. And you'll be able to say, that's they're your values, that's your mission. What's the company's values and mission? Because it has to be something that doesn't limit the business. And if it's your values, it limits the business. So 3 values, write them in, and that will be task 2 done. That's not too hard, is it? You can definitely do that. Tomorrow we're going to talk marketing, because it's a big part of a strategy, of a business strategy, is the marketing strategy. So we're going to start talking about that. But for now, do these 3. Any questions, or if you find anything hard, write it in there, talk to us about it. Me and my whole team are on hand to help you with this challenge, because it's going to make such a massive difference to not just your business, but the ripple effect to your clients' businesses as well. All right, I will leave you to it. Have a great day, whatever you're doing. I'm going to come back to see if anybody's written any comments that I can't see, and I will speak to you tomorrow at 10 o'clock.